Today we're talking about hesitation in this video and how it's ruining every opportunity that stands in front of you. Also, there's an important message at the end of this video. You do not want to miss it. It's the most important information. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about hesitation. Let's talk about those moments where you see a beautiful woman in the aisle at a grocery store, somewhere on the street, at a bar, at a party, and you're like, damn, I want to go talk to her. I would, but, and there's this pause. And in this pause, what's going on is in your head, you're finding every single reason why you should not do it. And this is part of the problem. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video. The minute that you stop and you go into that space where you start to imagine all the things that could go wrong, you're already fucked. We've all been there. I just want to remind you that the rationalizing, the reasoning, the images that come in your head that are saying things like, I shouldn't go talk to her because if I do and she doesn't respond well when I go over there, it's going to be embarrassing. Everybody's going to see me get embarrassed. I'm going to feel like crap. When you start having these images in your head, especially images from the past, or maybe you've done this before, if you heard somebody else go through a situation like this where they've gotten rejected and you just don't want to experience how that's going to feel. I'm going to teach you how to get over it right now. It's actually very, very simple. And a lot of the times when you're standing there and you see this girl in the aisles, at a party, at a bar, and you're like, I know I want to talk to this girl. There's something in your body that's like, this is the one I want to talk to. Maybe she's wearing those jeans. Maybe she's got that nice little girl next door look on, right? Or maybe she's just a sexy diva, right? But you just know that there's something about her vibe that makes you want to go over there. But the resistance and the hesitation has got you in a stronghold. Now the fix, I'll give it to you. It's very simple and it's not even the most important part of this video. Stay to the end for the most important part. Now, how do you fix it? How do you get yourself out of this space of hesitation? Well, there's actually two ways to do it. Now, the first one I got from Brian. Brian would always call this the 3-second rule. He got this from somebody else. I'm not sure exactly who he got it from. I think it might have been Mystery, but he got this 3-second rule where if you see a girl, you have 3 seconds to decide to go over there and talk to her. Because if you don't, and the minute you don't, and you start to let those little thoughts creep in, they'll freeze you up, and those thoughts will start to compound. And once those thoughts start to compound, you're in a cycle, and it's hard to control them. And you're going to find a reason to not go in. I guarantee you, 95% of the time, that's what happens. Now, the other fix is this. We talk a lot about have to, right? There's a scale here. And the scale goes avoid, have to, should, want to, and choice being the top. Now, when we go into those states of freezing up and hesitance, we go into either avoid or we go into have to. And when we go into avoid, we just don't show up at all completely. We just find a reason to vacate and we stick with that reason and we leave. And then we feel so righteous in our reason for leaving because we came up with a very, very, very compelling reason to not go in. And all of a sudden we feel that comfort, we feel that safety. But the truth is this, you're not getting away with it by not going in. You're really not. You're actually screwing yourself up more. We'll talk about that more in the important piece. Now, the other part of that is have to. Now, have to sucks the fun out of everything. When you go into a state of have to, it sounds something like this. God, I have to go in here and do this because I said I was going to do it. And this is the only way I know that I'm going to get better at approaching this if I go in and do this. But I don't really want to do it, right? So what are the chances if you actually can muster up the courage and the nerve to get over there that it's actually going to be enjoyable talking to you? Probably not. So you got to get yourself out of have to. How to get yourself out of have to? You really have to remind yourself why you're out doing this in the first place. What's your actual goal? What is it that you want to accomplish? What's the thing that is driving you to even be out there in the first place? If you're out approaching, if you're just seeing a woman in the store by chance, what's the reason that it matters so much that she's in this aisle that you're looking at her, right? There's There's always something. What's your reason for it, right? Is it that you want to get better with women? You want to be a guy who can go out and engage with any woman on a moment's notice? Or you want to be the guy who's a Casanova, right? You want to have a couple girls. Or you want to be a guy who goes out and finds his girlfriend, right? Find your reasoning, because if you have no reasoning for doing it, you're not going to have that battery in your pack that's going to propel you forward to go do it when you get stuck in either a void or have to. So find a way to get yourself out of a void and have to, and get yourself into either want to, where want to is a higher energetic state than a void and have to, or get yourself in a choice where you're like, I'm going in no matter what. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to show the hell up. Those are the two most powerful states, because when you go over there, you also bring that energy with you. And that energy is very attractive to a woman when the guy just says, fuck it, and just shows up. So find a way to get yourself into want to, or choice, get yourself out of have to, and get yourself out of a void. And the way to do that, again, just a reminder, find your reasoning. And if you don't have a reasoning, well, hey, then you're probably not going to do it. You're probably going to be a lot less likely to do it. Find out your reason. Get vulnerable with yourself. Why do you even care when you see a beautiful woman in the aisle? Is there a part of you inside that's longing to have a woman in your life? A few women in your life? A steady girlfriend? A wife? Let that in. Right? Welcome all those wants, needs, and desires, because, again, that'll be the battery in your pack that propels you. Now, this is the most important part of the video. Now, this part of the video, I want to tell you about creating patterns. If you have not gone and watched my last video called Become a Natural Fast, in this video, I talk about forming habits and doing something repetitively over and over and over for about 30 days until it starts to become an unconscious habit. Now, what we're talking about today in this video is hesitation. Now, the important part is this. Hesitation can become an unconscious pattern, meaning that if you're a guy who is in constant hesitation and you're constantly finding reasons to rationalize and reason with yourself why you shouldn't go in, it's only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's only going to make it harder and harder and harder for you to go in the future. So you have to stop it and cut it at its root, meaning that you got to figure out how to get in there. You got to figure out how to say, look, I'm going in no matter what. I'm going to go say hi. I'm going to do something. I'm not just going to sit here and play this image in my head of it going terribly wrong, because the more you do that, it will start to compound. It will start to compound in the negative, just like anything that you practice over a period of time. And it will become extremely difficult for you to start going over there if you start to really make that voice important. Now, I'm not telling you guys this to scare you. I'm telling you guys this so you guys realize the importance of actually showing up, because that in itself is forming a powerful habit that if I see a woman that I like, I'm getting my butt over there to go talk to her. I don't want to be the guy who gets stuck in his head, not having the women, not talking to the women, not engaging with the women. Don't be that guy. Go out there and have the experiences. Figure out a way to get yourself to show up. I guarantee you, even if you don't get the girl, you don't get the number, you get rejected, there's a lot of lessons that you learn from it. You learn a lot more from going in than you do from remaining dormant and talking yourself out of it. I absolutely guarantee you. Anyways, guys, drop in the comments if you guys actually got out there and did something. Let me know how it went for you guys. Anyways, love you. I will see you in the next video. Peace.